Welcome to Break the Board Sports. It's your boy RJ Cash here. Click that like, hit subscribe, help us out. BreakTheBoardSports.com, where we give you betting angles and trends to help you become a better handicapper. Want to hop into NFL Week 4 to start off? Got some good games. We're going to go over best bets that we like going into this week. And so let's hop right into it. Again, click that like. One of the best bets love this week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers plus 3.5. You got Philly visiting Tampa. Philly, again, laying 3.5. You're over under 44.5. So from a splits perspective, 51% of bets, 81% of the handle are to the Philadelphia Eagles. So a lot of love on the Eagles. 49% of tickets, yet 19% of the handle is on the Bucs. Clearly a pros versus Joes. Joe's, when you have even ticket count but more money on one side, typically that's a sign that's where your average Joes are at. You're betting public. You're over under 44.5 definitely screams that. Another thing is when you have a high ticket count but a low dollar amount, or vice versa. So 83% of the bets are on the over, while only 18% of the money. 17% of the bets are on the under, with just 82% of the money. So clearly there a lot of pros versus Joes action when it comes to the under in that game. So looking at, again, we said Bucks plus 3.5 is a lean. Hopping into it, Philadelphia is 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games. Obviously, they had the miracle cover last week, the block kick against the Rams, and it's still pretty crazy to think that they even won that game. The Rams were in control the whole time. And while Philly's 3-0, it hasn't been a 3-0 you look at and you're like, man, that's a dominating team. We've come to know Dallas isn't very good. Dallas had a chance to beat them. Kansas City, obviously they're the Chiefs, but they're very decimated with injuries right now. And Philadelphia got by both of those and got a scare from both. And then the Rams commanded that whole game and was really in control. Philadelphia has ran off 9 straight wins straight up, 7-0. 7 straight wins against NFC foes. Against the spread, they've been great on the road. The Eagles 6-1 ATS their last 7. But when they face Tampa, a completely different story happens here, folks. And that's why I like the Bucks plus 3.5. Philadelphia, their last 7 games against Tampa Bay, 2-5 against the spread, 1-6 straight up. And Tampa has just had their number. Even more concerning, Philly just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Bucks are 4-1 straight up their last 5 at home. Obviously, the Bucks come into this 3-0. Baker Mayfield leading them from behind each and every game. The under is cashed 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in this matchup. And then when you look at some other things, when you look over at your betting splits and whatnot, there's some other things that are, cause for concern for all you Philly backers. One, these two teams hooked up last year. I believe Philly was a much better team last year. I believe Tampa is much better this year. If you look at that matchup last year back in September at Tampa, 33-16, a dominating 17-point performance. If you go the year before in the playoffs, Tampa Bay won that game 32-9 in the playoffs at Tampa, along with earlier that season in Tampa. That was Philly's only win. So the last 2 matchups in Tampa have come in the last 12 months, and 33-16 and 32-9. And again, I believe that those Philly teams were much better than this Philly team. They were definitely clicking on offense better. The defense was more seasoned. A lot of things have changed. No more Brandon Graham. A lot of pieces have changed for the Philadelphia. The C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the secondary, Slay in the secondary. This is a young Eagles defense that's definitely showing some growing pains now. When Jalen Carter's up front wreaking havoc, much different story. But Baker's starting to get a full complement of weapons back. Their run game has been really solid, and Tampa Bay's defense has hung around, kept them in it. However, Tampa is scoring points at a rapid pace. I think you can make a case for Baker Mayfield for MVP of the league so far. Bucks have hit the game total over 8 of their last 11 home games. If you've been following that, you're up 4.7 units. They've hit the first half game total over. Right now, that's at 21.5. They've hit that over 15 of the last 21 games overall. That would put you up 2.95 units. Right now, Philly laying 2.5 for the first half. The Eagles have covered that first half spread 6 of their last 8 games. But again, the Bucks, they've just been on a tear. Baker keeps finding ways to win. I feel like Tampa Bay will really be able to expose that young defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. And again, they've had the Eagles' numbers. They've been able to put them in really bad situations. Tampa, the fact that they're not getting the majority of the handle shows you that the public's all over Philly here. Everybody's really excited about their win last week. I can understand that. But the fact that I'm getting Tampa Bay plus 3.5, I will hop all over that. That will be a best bet this week. Hop into the next game. This one, the trends may not back it up, but just a lot of things when you look on the surface. Marcus Mariota will be making his second start of the season for the Washington Redskins. Jalen Daniels out this week. Also, Terry McLaurin out with a quad injury. Falcons coming off that just absolute embarrassment, that stinker of a performance they put up at Carolina last week. Washington 6-3 against the spread their last 9, and 9-2 straight up their last 11. Against Atlanta, Washington has been fantastic. 4-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread their last 7 overall. Atlanta has failed to cover games. They're just 1-4 against the spread and 1-4 straight up their last 5 games. The under has cashed 5 of the last 6 games in which the Falcons have participated in at home. They've had some issues again. This is my fear with Raheem Morris. He just falls short of expectations each and every year. However, I do think this Washington defense has been playing way over their heads, right? I don't see them being able to sustain that. I know Marcus Mariota had a good week last week, but come on, let's be real here. The Raiders are an absolute laughingstock. I believe getting back home, Atlanta with Michael Penix, get Bijan Robinson on that turf, Drake London on that turf, gives Atlanta some advantages there. Right now, this line has flipped since the news of Jalen Daniels. It went from Washington plus 1.5 to Atlanta minus 2.5, 33% of tickets, but 71% of the handle on the Falcons. Shows you a lot of sharp action. 67% of tickets, but only 29% of the handle are on the Washington Redskins. Your over-under sets 43.5, 59% of tickets to the over with 41% of the handle, 41% of bets to the under with 59% of the handle. I like Atlanta in this one money line. Obviously, it was plus 1.5 when I circled it earlier, but I'm not going to let that deter me. Plus 1.5 for money line. The only difference is now we give up some juice. I like Atlanta minus 135 on the money line. They're back home. I don't think Washington is as good as what their record says they are. I think these are 2 even matched teams. I'll take the healthier team, the team at home here. Falcons, another best bet this week, minus $1.35. Going to our next game on the board, Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Xavier Worthy comes back for the Chiefs. Right now, Baltimore's laying 2.5, 68% of tickets, 79% of the handle on the Ravens, 32% of tickets, and 21% of the handle on the Chiefs. So again, overwhelming love for the Ravens here. Your over-under sets at 48.5, 56% of tickets on the over with only 22% of bets. 44% of tickets on the under with 78% of the handle here. Ravens laying $1.45 on the money line. If you get into the trends for this game, obviously these two teams have a lot of history. Chiefs have been playing a couple men down all year. Getting Worthy back is a huge help for them. Baltimore 6-3 against the spread their last 9. We had Detroit Monday night against them, so that paid off. Baltimore straight up has also been very solid, 14-6 straight up their last 20. But Baltimore has struggled against the Chiefs, 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games. The under for the Chiefs has cashed 8 of the last 12 games. Now, the over, though, however, between these two teams, 5 of the last 7 have ticked over the over. So Baltimore 14-6 their last 20 games. Kansas City 15-5 their last 20 games. So obviously something's got to give here. You look at last year's matchup between these two teams. Again, opening week of the year, it was a toe that really kept the Baltimore Ravens from tying up this game. Chiefs got the win 27-20 in Arrowhead. Now they go back to Arrowhead. The thing here that is interesting is no matter who loses this game is going to go to 1-3. That's pretty wild to think that the Chiefs or Ravens could be 1-3. Again, a lot of public money showing up for Baltimore. Typically, I like to go against the public, but I'm going to go ahead and check it in with the Baltimore Ravens here, money line. Just feel like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens got way more firepower. I know that Kansas City's defense is solid. I know they get Xavier Worthy back. I felt like Baltimore was really able to control Detroit for a certain part of the game. I also think Kansas City has huge protection issues. Their offensive line, not as good as Detroit's and not as good as Buffalo's. The Chiefs really have struggled to run the football as well. I think this is a prime situation where you can see the Baltimore Ravens take advantage and make some headway here. I'll take the Ravens money line in this one, minus $1.45. Last best bet want to talk about, and it's my favorite play so far of the whole football season. College, pro, you name it, my favorite play of the season. We're going to go to Los Angeles, where the Colts visit the Rams, the undefeated Colts. Rams laying 3.5. Now, 54% of tickets are on the Colts, 74% of the handle. The favorite catching 46% of bets, but only 26% of the handle. So the Colts, a very trendy dog, very popular dog, public dog, as we like to say in the space. That over-under is 49.5 with 59% of tickets to the over and 92% of the handle to the over. That under 41% of tickets and only 8%. You heard me right. Only 8% of the handle is to the under. I absolutely love the Rams here. I'm going to buy the hook. I'm going to lay $1.25, get it down to -3. It is a 10-unit play. Biggest play I've given out the football season. I love the Rams more than any other. The 3.5, I wouldn't mind it, but I just love having 3. But personally, I think they win this game by 10 points or more. The Rams are a far superior team. Look, the Colts, you've beat the Titans, you've beat the Dolphins, you beat a Bronco team that really isn't that good, and you shouldn't have beat the Broncos. I think the Colts get a huge piece of humble pie here. The Rams got weapons all over the yard. They're sour about last week. McVay's a better coach. Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback. Daniel Jones isn't this comeback player of the year that people are making him out to be. I think the Rams win this game with ease. Colts 3-7 against the spread all time. The last 10 games against the Rams doesn't bode well. Rams 5-1 against the spread their last 6. They're also 8-3 straight up over their last 11. The total has gone over in 7 straight games where these two teams have hooked up. When you look back a little further here, like I said, the Rams, getting them at home is a huge, huge opportunity here. They last played back in 2023, 2 years ago at Indy. Obviously, there was no Daniel Jones, but again, I think he's subpar at best. That was a 29-23 overtime win for the Rams. This Rams team, I still think right now you can make the argument they're the best team in the NFC. If I only got to buy them to -3, I think that's great value again. So we like the Ravens on the money line, -$1.45. We like the Falcons on the money line, -$1.35. We're also going to roll with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, +3.5. I think that's really good value. And then also the 10-unit play, biggest play of the year. We're going to take the Los Angeles Rams. We're going to buy the hook and go -3 for a 10-unit play. And then to pile it on even more. Yes, pile it on even more. I know people hate juice and teasers, but my teaser of the week is a 7-point teaser. I know it's -$1.40, yada, yada. We're going to take the Houston Texans down to pick. I think they get off the schneid, get their first win, and we're going to take the Rams across the number. Something I always say is a big no-no, but I just love them here. We're going to take the Rams to +3.5. So 7-point teaser, -140, 5-unit play. Houston Texans pick, LA Rams +3.5. You can book it. Go to breaktheboardsports.com. We have notes up for all the NFL games. Go through them, print them off. Take them to the sports book with you as you're breaking down your games. Yes, we sell picks for $1.37 a day across all sports. Had a great day in baseball, 4-1. But this is more about helping you become a better handicapper, giving you best bets, giving you betting trends, giving you betting angles. Check out our college football shows going this week. I think you're going to love the breakdown of Penn State, Oregon, and Alabama, Georgia. Two very, very high profile games. Again, don't forget Ravens money line, Falcons money line, Bucks plus 3.5. Single unit plays, and then the Rams by the hook -3 10-unit play, and then a 5-unit play on the teaser of the week. Texans pick with Rams plus 3.5. Again, I'm your host, RJ Cash, breaktheboardsports.com. Go check it out. Click like, hit subscribe. God bless and happy handicapping.